Did you know that Polignano al Mare, in the heart of Puglia, is considered one of the most picturesque towns in Italy? I mean, just take a look at these views. Between the ancient bridge and the crystal clear waters of the beach, this place looks like it was ripped straight out of a piece of heaven. But here's the kicker. It's not just a pretty face. Polignano al Mare is a photographer's dream, a walking tour paradise. And, according to my husband, it is one of the best places to visit in Italy if you're looking for charm, history, and a slice of la dolce vita. But you know what's funny? This episode almost didn't happen. And wanna know why? Well, because I was this close to skipping it. Yep, yours truly was melting under the Puglian sun and battling a killer headache. So I thought, maybe we should call it a day. But oh no. My husband wouldn't have it, because he has been so looking forward to this place. And, because Polignano al Mare? Well, it's not just beautiful. It's magical. And, here's a spoiler alert here. Because by the end of this video, I will have absolutely no regrets. So, what makes Polignano al Mare stand out from the other towns in Puglia? Well, you're about to find out. Stick around, and you'll understand why this is one of Italy's most charming villages. Let's start with the story behind the iconic bridges and why they're the key to unlocking this town's charm. Polignano al Mare isn't just any seaside town. Actually, it's a town built around two iconic bridges, and each one tells a story. Take the Ponte Romano for example. Did you know this ancient bridge is over 2,000 years old and still standing strong? Meanwhile, the Ponte Borbonico, which you are looking at right now, is a bit of a show-off. It was built in the 19th century, during the Bourbon era, and it's like the dramatic older sibling. Bigger, bolder, and perched right over the breathtaking Lama Monachile beach. Let us take a walk under it, as this is the path leading to the beach. Of course, my husband would probably say something like, "It's not about the bridges, it's about the Instagram photo opportunities." I mean, he's not wrong. These views practically beg for a photo shoot. And have you ever taken a picture and thought, this belongs in a magazine? Well, that's what every photo here feels like. Okay, just take a moment and breathe this in. This is Lama Monachile Beach, one of the most stunning beaches not just in Puglia, but honestly, in all of Italy. And here's a little secret. This beach isn't just about sunbathing or swimming. Because tucked away in the cliffs, you'll find these little caves you can actually walk through. The way these cliffs just wrap around the beach, almost like a giant natural amphitheater, it's simply unreal. And you have the sun that is beaming down, warming up the sand, the cliffs, and, trust me when I say this, the sun will also warm up your soul, once you set foot here. And then there's the vibe. Pure Mediterranean magic. And look at these crowds. Some are soaking up the sun like they're auditioning to be human solar panels, others are diving straight into the clearest water you've ever seen. I mean, can you blame them? And just imagine how refreshing it is. Fun fact. While everyone here looks like they're in paradise, I have to confess, I suddenly realized that the headache was gone. Between the heat, the crowds, and the fact that it was scorching hot, we left the beach and headed back towards the main town. Honestly, even with all that, this place is so worth it. And you'll forget the heat, and even your mild sunburn when you see views like these. Alright, are you ready? because we're about to step through Porta Vecchia, the old gate that feels like a portal straight back in time. Behind this arch lies the heart of Polignano a Mare, and it's a maze of narrow alleys, whitewashed walls, and stories as old as the stones themselves. Legend has it that centuries ago, this very gate was guarded by knights sworn to protect the town from pirates who prowled the Adriatic Sea. And here's where it gets spooky. Locals still tell tales of ghostly whispers echoing through the gate at night. They say it's the voices of those knights, still standing guard, ensuring their beloved town stays safe. But hey, we're here in the daylight, so no pirates. And hopefully no ghosts. Look at these narrow alleys winding like veins through the heart of the city. And here as well, similar to Loca Rotondo, every turn feels like uncovering a new secret. If you have missed our video where we explored Loca Rotondo, click on the pop-up on the right top corner of your screen to watch it. Or alternatively, you can watch it later and I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. And similar to Matera, which we featured in our last video, it's like stepping into a movie set, except this is real life. And honestly, it's moments like this that make you feel the soul of a place. These walls, they've witnessed everything. From Roman merchants hauling their goods through these alleys to medieval lovers sneaking secret rendezvous under moonlight. Polignano a Mare might be small, but it packs a punch when it comes to landmarks. Earlier, we walked past the Church of Purgatory, which is a charming little church with intricate Baroque details. Then there's the Church of Saint Mary of the Assumption, right in the heart of Piazza Vittorio Emanuele due. It's simple yet elegant, a perfect reflection of this town's understated beauty. And since we are here, let us take a minute and let's go inside this church, for a while. The interior is serene, with vaulted ceilings and soft light streaming through stained glass windows. And the highlight is the altarpiece, an intricate work dedicated to the Assumption of Mary, glowing with gold and vibrant colors. Look out for the wooden statue of San Vito, the town's patron saint, which is paraded through the streets during local festivals. Piazza Vittorio Emanuele due is the beating heart of Polignano a Mare. And surrounded by charming cafes, restaurants, and small shops, the piazza has seen centuries of celebrations, and now you get to be part of its story. The real adventure begins as you step into the winding, narrow alleys that lead toward the Belvedere Terraza Santo Stefano. These alleys are pure magic, with the cobblestone pathways that are flanked by whitewashed walls, and draped with bursts of colorful bougainvillea, and with an endless collection of boutiques and souvenir shops. These paths have a mind of their own, zigzagging unpredictably, often revealing hidden corners, like this one, where you will immediately reach out for your camera and take a million photos. Along the way, you'll stumble upon boutique shops selling everything from handmade ceramics to local olive oil, as well as gelaterias tempting you with creamy scoops of pistachio and limone. But the highlight is right here, when you reach the Belvedere Terraza Santo Stefano. It's like the world expands before you, and the turquoise waters of Lama Monachile sparkle below, hugged by dramatic cliffs. The view is breathtaking, and honestly, it's impossible to resist taking 100 photos. But let's be real. Can you even capture a feeling like this? Fun tip. If you pause and listen closely, you might hear faint laughter or music drifting up from the beach or cafes below, adding to the magic of this moment. Let me know. Would you ever want to leave a spot like this? The terrace takes its name from the nearby church of St. Stephen, an ancient chapel that once served as a spiritual anchor for the people of Polignano. There is a viewpoint nearby, and once you step onto the terrace, you're greeted by a sweeping view, the Lama Monachile, cradled by towering cliffs that seem to embrace the crystal-clear waters. From this vantage point, the contrast between the rugged stone cliffs and the vibrant blue sea is simply mesmerizing. And here's a fun fact. This terrace is one of the most photographed spots in Puglia, and people from all over the world flock here for that perfect Instagram shot. But honestly, no photo can capture the feeling of standing here, with the sea breeze on your face and the sun casting golden light on the cliffs. Now, this is what I call a grand finale. It's moments like these that make me forget the headache, the heat, and everything else. Polignano a Mare isn't just a town. It's an experience, a love letter to the sea, to beauty, and to living in the moment. And in that moment, we really did forget everything else, even the directions. We wandered into the labyrinth of narrow alleys, each one more charming than the last. At first, we had a destination in mind, but honestly, we couldn't have cared less when we got lost. And we turned left, then right, then. Was that the same little square we passed 10 minutes ago? Probably. But instead of frustration, there was something magical about losing ourselves here. Polignano a Mare is a small coastal town in Puglia, perched dramatically atop limestone cliffs overlooking the Adriatic Sea. With a population of around 18,000 people, this town might be small in size, but its history stretches back over 2,000 years. The town is very accessible and small enough that it makes for a perfect day trip or a longer stay. My husband told me that Polignano a Mare is one of the most picturesque towns in Puglia, and it's easy to see why now. Polignano a Mare also hosts a stop on the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series, attracting daredevils from around the world to leap off its towering cliffs into the turquoise waters below. The town historical center reflects this rich past, with narrow alleys, ancient arches, and churches that seem frozen in time. And it also has a strong maritime tradition, with fishing being a vital part of its heritage. Some walls even had poetic quotes painted on them. Little whispers of inspiration scattered throughout the town, as if Polignano was trying to speak directly to your soul. We hit dead end after dead end, and each one felt like stumbling onto a hidden treasure. One led us to a tiny archway framing a perfect slice of blue sky, and another opened up to a secluded courtyard where a local woman sat, quietly crocheting. Honestly, if someone had told me we'd be stuck here forever, I wouldn't have complained. But soon enough, we found ourselves back to where we started, near the Porta Vecchia. Should we try this way? I'd ask, pointing down an alley no wider than my arms stretched out. And my husband would just shrug, laughing. Why not? Worst case, we get stuck in paradise. The town seemed to wrap itself around us, pulling us deeper into its charm, as if whispering, "Stay, slow down, and just enjoy life." It was the kind of place where time didn't seem to matter. And there was no rush, no checklist. Just us, the cobblestone paths under our feet, the whispers of history echoing off the walls. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. And eventually, our footsteps led us to Piazza Giuseppe Garibaldi. Here, locals gathered on benches, sharing animated conversations, while visitors like us paused to soak in the atmosphere. The square is modest compared to the dramatic cliffs and ornate churches, yet it holds its own charm. Simple, unassuming, and utterly authentic. After soaking in the serenity of Piazza Giuseppe Garibaldi, we meandered just a few steps to Via Roma. As we walked down Via Roma, the main thoroughfare, we passed bustling shops, friendly locals chatting with the shopkeepers, and a steady flow of visitors. And many of them still discovering the town's hidden corners, much like we had. The street felt alive with activity, but there was a peacefulness about it. And there was no rush. Everyone seemed to be enjoying the simple act of strolling through one of Italy's most charming villages, with the sea just a stone's throw away. During this adventure, I realized one thing. I realized that in this town, everything is connected. And whether it's the streets, the sea, or the people, there's an unspoken harmony that ties it all together. And though our adventure is coming to an end, I found myself thankful for listening to my husband, and for the chance to walk these beautiful streets, the warmth of the town still lingering in the air. Let me try to summarize this in one line then. Polignano a Mare. It's a feeling, it's a magical place where you can truly lose yourself in its beauty, and when you find your way again, it's even more special. From the charming streets of Alberobello, to the picturesque views in Rotondo, the seaside beauty of Monopoli, and all the unforgettable stops in between, we've experienced some of the most beautiful towns in southern Italy. But if I'm being totally honest with you, I couldn't think of a better place to end our adventure than Polignano a Mare. There's something about Polignano a Mare that feels like the perfect punctuation mark to this incredible Puglia journey. And because when you end in a place this beautiful, it makes you want to keep exploring the world, right? So, if you're planning a trip to Puglia, make sure to put this one on your list. It's a town that will surprise you, charm you, and most importantly, make you fall in love with the simplicity of life. If there's one thing I've learned on this journey, it's that no matter how many towns you visit, there will always be one that stands out and leaves a lasting impression. For us, Polignano a Mare is that town. If you loved this adventure through Puglia, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future travel adventures, and so much more. And, if you want to dive deeper into another one of our favorite spots in Puglia, check out our video about Rotondo by clicking on the end card.